Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks and gamers, assassins, James Bond fans, James Bond, and of course, Indiana Jones wannabes. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. Sorry, I'm thinking back to another live stream I was on. Anyway, it's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, and this week I am joined by the one, the only Captain Birdseye. It's Nigel. Thank you.
Oh, well done, Keith. Yes. Oh, you've pushed the right button and everything.
It's a lot more difficult than it looks. Do you know that? I mean, I have a newfound appreciation of StreamYards. I really do. Having been on a live stream the other week on a droning channel, I'm not going to plug it too much. We had all sorts of issues. So, I mean, the fact that StreamYards is so easy, even though it is quite difficult to, look at the show notes, getting all the bumps and everything running. It's still, at least it works. At least there's not like technical glitches or audio glitches or things like that. This live streaming malarkey is not easy unless you're willing to pay for it. It's not.
So I take
anyway,
you use StreamYards when you were.
No, I was trying in the nicest possible way to say, please use StreamYards. It just works. Just works. But, in fairness, they have to pay for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, then, you have to sort of roll with the rough, unfortunately. Anyway, you might have noticed that there's a rather large planet-sized ego, shall we say, missing from this week's stream. Unfortunately, he is otherwise engaged and couldn't make it today. So we drafted in the Nige. We got Nige back and refreshed and raring to go. So
what I'd like to say is because of that.
Nothing to see here.
There's quite a few on here. Just remember, right, Nige, I'm running the show today until the gaming news.
And you will respect my authority.
I know that one's aimed at me.
That is you.
Oh yes.
My God, if you were a cartoon, that is you.
I'm proud of it. Right. Okay. So this week, what are we talking about? Well, we've got some movie news, and we've got some TV news. We've got some sad news in the movie news as well, but we will get into that in a second. And we've got gaming news, and we've got a couple of reviews. Now, early on, there was a review that we were going to talk about, but I don't think either of us have seen it. Which is Amazon's The Truth Seekers. I haven't actually had a chance to see it yet, so I'm going to put that off till next week where I can actually watch it. But I have seen The Mandolorian, and I have seen Star Trek Discovery. Yes, anyway. So, hi, Babster, by the way. How you doing, mate? Hope you're all good. And we're... Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get you on here because it looks like we're all going to be back on in the next week or two. And with the news yesterday from our glorious leader, all hail Boris, it looks like most people are not going to have an excuse not to be indoors. So hopefully, we'll all be on in next week. Anyway, let's get into our news and let's go with our first story. And I will call it up. Help me here, Nigel. I'm clicking shit and I don't know what I'm doing. Ah, there we go.
Is that one?
It's that one. Oh, that one. So this week, Tom Holland, aka the latest Spider-Man, has unveiled the first image of him as Nathan Drake from the Uncharted movie. And there he is. Nigel, does he look like Nathan Drake?
He does, actually. He does. Not quite as beefy in the shoulders, I think, as Nathan Fillion. Because as you know, the character in the game is based on Nathan Fillion's stature as well as face. But I don't know if this is meant to be slightly younger, this film. If he's meant to be a bit younger in the film than he is in the game. So I'm not really too sure. But they've got the look. Certainly, Kim. There's cargo pants, the shirt.
Hasn't this movie
mate.
sort of been on and off and on and off? At least this now sort of signifies that it's actually going to happen. Whether we're going to see it at cinema or on some kind of premium on demand is anyone's guess. Hopefully, we'll be seeing it at the cinema.
I'm sure it's due for release in 2021. I'm sure.
Yes, it is. 16th of July next year.
Yeah, with how things have been, well, especially this movie, it's been in the works for like 10 years. So they've penciled it in, but don't be surprised if it does get pushed back.
I think any movie release date we have to take with a pinch of salt at the moment. Everything is up in the air until hopefully things begin to settle down. But I quite like Tom Holland. I think he comes across well. I'll go and see this. I don't know a lot about the games, only having played it really around Gareth, and I think played it with you at one point as well. But I don't know a huge amount about the games, except they're from Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog are of the Last of Us Part 2 fame. So,
yeah. By the way, I think you're having issues with your internet connection.
Oh, yay.
You're having a few glitches going on.
Yeah, I thought you dirt-faced a minute ago there. So did I? Go on.
You're just flicking about everywhere, so I'm assuming it's you and not me. So
I'll keep an
eye. I think the 3 games that came out, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, were fantastic. But then they brought out another game following, I think it was Chloe, which was okay. The story wasn't quite as good, but it was still, the gameplay was Uncharted and it was decent, so it was worth a play. So I'm cautiously optimistic for the film.
I mean, yeah, we've had a recent sort of trend of computer game movies being actually quite good. Sonic wasn't bad. The what was it? The Pokemon movie wasn't bad. I actually quite liked the last Tomb Raider film. I know that that's not the popular thing, but I actually quite like that. So hopefully this could be some quite good. But yes. Anyway, shall we move on to our next story? And this one, unfortunately, I need to. Hang on. Let me catch up. Gareth makes this look so easy. Right. Okay. Here we go. Unfortunately, this happened yesterday, and I was quite upset by this news because it was really funny. Because this week I was doing some channel surfing because I haven't been particularly well. I was in hospital last week with some gastric issues, shall we say, and I was channel hopping, and Sean Connery's official last film, which was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, was on, and it's not a great film. But I was thinking I'd love to see him just make one more movie or one more cameo somewhere, and literally a few days later this happened. So unfortunately, Sean Connery's last film was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but he did make one film just before that called Finding Forrester, which I like to think is his last truly good performance. And if you've never seen it, it's a really good film. So if you want to see which really should be his last film, that's Finding Forrester. But yes, unfortunately, Sean Connery passed away at the age of 90. His family, or his wife, who's 91, bless her, said today that he had actually been suffering from dementia for a while. So he apparently slipped away in his sleep, which was apparently the way he wanted to go at his home in the Bahamas. Lucky person. But yes, the one, and probably best in many people's eyes, Bond, Sean Connery. Yeah, I mean, I don't just remember him from Bond. I mean, to me, he will always be, one of my favorite films, Hunt for the Red October, which he was in as Captain Ramus, and just a brilliant. He was a true megastar. It's like my dad said today. So I suppose you knew about Sean Connery. It's like, Dad, he he was James Bond. Everywhere in the world carried this story yesterday. I mean, he spanned borders, and different cultures because he was Bond. Everybody knew who Sean Connery was, or at least recognized him. I mean, he was one of the true movie stars. A proper movie star, and it's just a shame. There he is as in The Hunt for Red October. Fucking awesome film. But yes, it's just such a shame. And of course, Indiana Jones's dad. There's because he bloody ads. But yes, anyway, Sean Connery passed away. It's a shame. I guess you were saddened by that news, Nige?
Yeah, I think so. He's an institution, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been around since I can remember, really, in films. Most famous for Bond, as you know. What was it? He was in that film with Kirk Douglas's wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I was just thinking about that, Entrapment, where I was literally thinking about that because there were not many movie stars that were old enough to be basically her father and then some, I think, when he was in that film. And both of them be equally as, this is going to sound gay, but it's not meant to be, as sexy on screen. I mean, Sean Connery, even then, was a handsome man. And, you've got Catherine Zeta-Jones back then was hot. And yet you had Sean Connery that could stand by her and she didn't detract for him because he was had equal amount of charisma and presence on the screen. I mean, he was a handsome man, was Sean Connery. I mean, I saw pictures of him recently. He did look elderly, but he still had that. I don't know how to say it without saying it. Yeah, I mean, he was a good-looking man, was Sean, and that voice just. I mean, he's the only man that could get away with not really sounding Russian, but still pull it off somehow.
Was that Hunt for Red? I don't know the film.
Yeah, and I mean, he was in. He's been in loads of things.
Oh yes,
but,
yeah, good actor. Loved him in Bond. Loved him as Bond. Entrapment was decent, and really, that's all. Well, you could say Indy. He was great as Indy's dad.
Brilliant performance there. Yeah,
did love him in those.
Yeah, I was a bit gutted by it, I have to say. I am a Sean Connery fan.
I think the world was just waiting to see what 2020 was going to throw at us again, and there we have it, another one.
Well, it's funny you should say that because 2020 is the year of just strange stuff, and I never actually thought these words would come out of my mouth. But in the next story, I agree with Kanye West. Kanye West appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast, that little podcast that, earning millions, to say that the Star Wars prequels, as in the original prequels, were better than the Disney Star Wars. Now, most Star Wars fans will say this, but Kanye West, the man that is running for president but forgot to file his whatever you have to do to register to be a candidate, the man that thinks he is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But yeah, he's kind of right. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, is he?
I never thought
he's made a few grave errors in his life, like marrying that person.
Oh, they're made for it. They're made for each other.
They are made for each other. But yeah, I think he's right in saying the prequels were better than the Disney films. But what he didn't go any further than that. He didn't say if he thought the prequels were better than the original films. I think he'd probably get crucified if he did. But I think what he did say was right.
Having now got where we've got, it'll be interesting to see what fans say these days. I always maintain that the lightsaber battles in the prequels were just hands down awesome. And
Yeah.
you know, and there's a fan cut of a, you know, somebody went to the trouble of basically recutting the Darth Vader Obi-Wan showdown in A New Hope, where they've sped it up and they've kind of taken a cue from the prequels. I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, in places the effects are ropey, but for the most part, it's awesome. And it just goes to show there are things that about the prequels I like. I am not a fan of Revenge of the Sith. I think Hayden Christensen was just bad. Sorry, but he was. I think Ian McDermott as the Emperor's performance in the third movie is bad. The bit where Vader is, you know, or where Anakin is turning into Vader, I will always maintain this, that Ian McDermott looks like he was suffering from the same fucking thing that I was the other day, and he was like, he looked like he was trying, you know, was suffering from a massive fucking case of constipation, and it just it doesn't work. But I mean, the pod racing scene are cool. The lightsaber fights are awesome. I mean, that the whole Darth Maul thing, where Maul turns up, and there are moments in those three prequels that are brilliant. I mean obviously Yoda turning up with a lightsaber, that was awesome. You know, then Yoda fighting the Emperor in the third movie, which is about the only thing from the third movie I really like. But yeah, no, I kind of agree with Kanye West on this one, which leaves a bit of a frog in my taste. Yeah, exactly. I think Babster is equally surprised. Yes, I know, but this is 2020. Who knows what's around the fucking corner?
Weirder things could happen.
Oh dear. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I've fucked up already. I forgot to run the movie news banner.
Oh, you did? It's too late.
Yeah,
but when we do move on, we'll use it.
Unless, so do you have anything else to add to that story? Are you as shocked as I am?
No, okay. I was shocked that I did agree with something that came out of that man's mouth for once.
He's nuts. He is utterly nuts. Anyway, we shall move on. And so the first story here is I'm finding it. I'm not actually delaying it because I'm just words fail me. They just fail me. So here we have Channel 5 are doing a some kind of mini series, and it says it all. I mean, the BBC have been doing this a lot recently, and I am saying this, and I'm going to say this again. If you are doing historical drama, with all due respect, and I mean, I'm not. This isn't racist. Black people kind of stand out because back then, the genetic makeup in this country was predominantly white, and Anne Boleyn was very much a white woman. I mean, there's fucking pictures of her, or portraits of her, all over Hampton Court, and I happened to live near there when I was growing up, so I've seen quite a few, including that one.
There's quite a few pictures on this article, Keith. So
yes, I will scroll. Well, no, there's the lady that's going to be playing her, and yeah, there's some turtles. You said there's lots of articles. There's lots of ads.
Lots of ads.
There we go. I need to get an ad blocker. But
I
yes,
just think it's wrong. Really, if you're going to be doing a mini series on this lady, at least get it right. I don't know if it's meant to be an alternate universe or something, but it's not right, really, is it? They don't. They're mucking with history.
I don't understand this. And you know, and the minute somebody says anything against this, like questions it, like we're doing, we'll get called racist and we'll get called all these things because
I just think it's historical accuracy. That's all you should go for. If Anne Boleyn was a black woman, by all means play a black woman. It makes no sense to what if they swapped it to Anne Boleyn to Anthony Boleyn instead?
You definitely can't. You would not gender change a character that was female to male. You can't do it that way. You do it the other way around because that's perfectly socially acceptable. But if you took a female character and gender swapped them to a man, can you imagine what Twitter would be like? Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, Twitter's a cesspool, isn't it?
Jesus Christ. I don't even understand how this is. I mean, this is. If you're a black person, if you're a person of color, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding, naive here, surely you are insulted by this. Surely you are, because this isn't about inclusion. This isn't about whatever that other fancy fucking word is. This is virtue signaling at its worst, and I don't understand it. And at most, what they're doing is they're causing an uproar on the internet, and they're getting free publicity, and that it's based upon these people's logic is racist. I'm lost for words. I truly don't know what to say on this because it's just she was a white woman. Sorry, but Anne Boleyn, a historical figure, was a white woman.
Well, it's quite obvious.
Some say a
witch
witch.
Trying to fuck around with history.
Oh! Have a look at this. I don't understand it. I mean, she was a witch.
Hang on a minute. I'm sure there's something.
Well.
Which doesn't work. Okay. I was clicking something there. And it didn't work.
There. You noticed I put a load of those bumps in to keep you guys entertained.
Now,
hang on.
We are fucked.
That'll do.
No, it's a cheap shot to confuse everyone. It's people playing horrible political games with people. It's gaslighting. It's a number of things that we shouldn't be doing in polite society today. If she wasn't black, she wasn't black. It's strange because if this was done 15 years ago, we probably would have turned around and gone, the reason they picked the actress is because she was the best for the job, and we would have accepted that. But today, with everything going on, no, it's just, as Keith put it, it's crap virtue signaling, and it needs to end quickly.
In my view, I think if there was a program like this, but they did it on Catherine of Aragon instead of Anne Boleyn, like Henry's first wife, I would fully expect Catherine to be played by a Spanish actress.
Yeah.
Spanish actress, because she was Spain. She was from Spain.
We could do any Mediterranean actress you could get away with, because it's roughly the same.
Rather than pick just a white actress to play and put an accent on, get someone who's a bit accurate. That's my view, anyway. If you're gonna do a historical figure, surely you need to get it right.
I agree.
No point in doing unless it's some alternate universe that they're doing, and Henry is also of black descent. And
hang on a second. What is it? I can't remember if it's the Nation of Islam or the African Israelites or something, believe that Henry VIII was black, and so was Shakespeare. And I think they believe that Winston Churchill was also black too. It's crazy random shit. And you shouldn't really do it. It kind of feels like some people when they do this.
I wonder if it's loaded.
Do shit like that. That's what it feels like they're doing. They're just trying to fuck with things. They're just trying to fuck with it. And did we talk about active measures a couple of weeks back?
Yes, I think we did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. It feels like active measures. It genuinely actually feels like active measures. The ability to fuck with us. Anyway, can we move on from this because it's not very. It irritates the fuck out of me.
I know it irritates me as well. But anyway, This is an interesting story this week, although there is not much news on it. But this week, Netflix confirmed that they are actively working on a Assassin's Creed live-action TV series. Just that. There is no news about who or when or what era it's going to be set in. I assume it's going to follow the subplot of the games, that it's future sort of thing, sort of like projecting back in time. But other than that, I don't know. But the movie, a lot of people didn't like the movie, but there were elements of the movie that I thought were quite good. The way the movie was crafted, the aesthetics of the movie, I thought could work. But I remember watching the movie and thinking, this would work so much better as a TV series. It just would.
The problem with the movie is that they were only experimenting on one guy, a guy called Desmond, who was a bar owner, who just happened to have the genes that they wanted. And it was done in secret, so there was this kind of feeling. It was a reveal that he wasn't Altair, and they need to make sure that they put that stuff in there, so you sit there and you can follow the whole first episode, and then it gets to the end of the episode and you get desynchronization, and then the guy wakes up, and then you go, "Oh, what are we doing next week?" And that's kind of what we really need to do.
I don't think I actually saw the film Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I saw it. It was much wasted potential, and it was all down to the script and the creative start of it. They had everything there, the production. They had Michael Fassbender, perfect casting, and they just royally screwed it up, and it was mad.
I agree that it wasn't a good film, but there were elements that I thought worked. But I think this could work as a TV series. I genuinely do. I think this could potentially be good, but it's 2020, 2021 when this eventually probably will come to air, if not 2022. I
think what Keith is trying to put into words is it's just something more for them to ruin. You'll have a strong female character in there, and she'll technically be the lead without it happening. So the story could happen, but it'll be kind of like The Witcher, where it's not really focused on fucking Geralt. It's focused on What's-a-mush, which is fine because she's an interesting character. But if you crowbar in a female character into the Assassin's Creed story, it ain't going to work. The one bit I really love in Assassin's Creed is you have these. It talks about a civilization that existed before ours, that was like before Egyptians and all that stuff, that was subject to a massive cataclysm. And the idea of them doing the Animus stuff is to find out when the cataclysm happens, to stop said cataclysm. But there are things that the technology bits that were left over. So they have what they refer to as the Apple of Eden, and it's like a control device, and it allows you. It's basically it's an iPhone from the distant past from this organization. And there's a great bit in one of the Assassin's Creeds where he turns around and goes, "I've had it and I've studied it." It goes, "Not only did it show me the past, it showed me the future." And he pulls out a gun and shoots the bad guy because he made a gun. And you're like, "Oh, guns didn't exist for a good while back then." That's quite impressive.
Yeah, the Netflix have been half and half. They've done some woke programming, but they've also done non-woke programming. So I don't know which way this is going to go. I genuinely don't, but it could work. But we shall have to see. I think you said, Nigel, you're kind of potentially could work. Yeah,
I like the idea of it. There's so many different Assassin's Creed games now. There's a lot of sort of source material that they could take into a series, isn't there? So as long as they stick to the source material, or maybe some of the story, they don't not the stories, I mean, but how things work, the mythology around it. As long as they stick to those, they can build their own. Because Assassin's Creed be doing different stories throughout their time. So look at them just doing Valhalla recent, So as long as they stick to the mythology of it and how everything works and knits together, and they make the solid story, I don't think it's going to be too bad.
That's the problem. That's the problem, because they think they know better.
Well, exactly. Well,
It's both from the Hollywood film and all from woke bullshit, so they think they know better. And if they would just stick to the source material and respect the source material, which we talk about constantly, it would work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's certainly going to be interesting. Anyway, talking of woke bollocks, they revealed this week. Well, gone is the orange hair, and here we have our latest Batwoman.
No, it's not Batwoman anymore. It's Black Woman.
Oh, okay.
Even the actress turned around and called her that. I think if you scroll down, you might actually see the article. There's an article there. I think it's keep going. So you see her. Oh, go back. There you go. First ever. What are you? How can you not scroll?
There
it is.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
First ever
and
black.
I'm sure it has the
and
I'm sure it has a reflection to. It's weird how you can see like this is the children's one on the BBC, and it's all identity politics, which I find terrifying. It's newsround.
I honestly don't
go
care.
Back to the thing.
I don't care that there's a black woman playing Batwoman. I don't care. Is she going to do a better job than the previous woman? Ruby Rose, I think her name was. She probably will.
No, she won't. It's fucking garbage. You can't. You could. Only Alan Rickman dressed up as Batwoman could make that work, and he's dead.
I know what you're saying, Nigel. Potentially, she'll be a better actress, but that's not exactly difficult because Ruby Rose is a one-trick pony who, in my opinion, can't act. But it's funny what you say about the BBC. I have a feeling that the new BBC boss isn't quite as woke as the rest of the BBC, because it's interesting what he's doing recently. He has recently put out a thing where they are now all have to be completely impartial on social media, even on their own personal social medias. As long as you work for the BBC, you have to be impartial on social media.
Bye bye Gary Lineker from Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. I think watch this space on this. I could be wrong, but and I see exactly what you mean by that news round page. But this new BBC boss seems to be more level-headed, shall we say?
It's an ex-politician, for crying out loud. What's his name? I can't remember his name now.
I can't remember his name, but I did see a story this week about the social media thing that they've now put out guidelines. That's it. BBC guidelines on social media that you have to remain impartial. So yeah, bye Gary Lineker.
We're not that lucky, mate. We haven't lost him completely.
So, but they might all lose their shit next week. So we shall see. Not mentioning, not going into it, but let's see.
Well, we've had a message from Babster. He's saying it's getting worse. I've started to go back and watch programs I missed years ago. Started watching Life on Mars.
Life on Mars is fucking awesome. I like Life on Mars, and what's the other one? The follow-up one they did.
Ashes to Ashes.
Ashes to Ashes.
The end of Ashes to Ashes was brilliant.
I haven't seen either, but I've heard good things. I did have it on my watch list on Amazon Prime, and shortly after they removed it from Amazon Prime.
It's on Netflix.
It's because it moved over to Netflix.
It's on Netflix, and seeming as you steal my Netflix, by all means use it and watch it. Life on Mars has got some of the best fucking quotes in it. What was it DCI Gene Hunt's? It's as fake as a tranny's fanny. That was a fucking genuine line in it. To this day, I fucking cracks me up. And the other one was like, stop! You're surrounded by armed bastards.
Well, we've been watching recently this past week Warehouse 13.
I like Warehouse 13. That was a nice one.
Yeah,
it's probably a 15, but we watch it with the kids.
And
they really like it. 15. Getting in bed in half naked with the ladies.
Are you talking about Warehouse 13? The one with
there was
Warehouse 13. Yeah,
there was. It's probably a PG or a 12, but now the kids would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Warehouse. Warehouse 13 is it's kind of it's okay. It's good. I like Warehouse 13. I thought it was great.
We've probably watched 4 today, and 4 yesterday. Like the kids are like, yeah. I literally wake up in the morning going, when can we watch Firehouse 13, Dad? It's like, oh, just let me get up. Like, but you know, we've gone through 2 seasons so far. We're getting near the end of season 2.
Right. I'd just like to point out Warehouse 13 dovetails with another series called A Town Called Eureka, or Eureka in the States.
Oh, they mention Eureka.
Yes, there's a guy.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
They do a crossover. There's a crossover. There's a couple of crossovers with Eureka. Eureka was good as well.
Eureka.
Another quirky
Eureka.
TV series.
Eureka. Oh.
So you'll have
see
to
that on my
just
thing.
gotta say hi.
Yes, just go through these. Agreement from your wife there, G. She loves Warehouse 13. Definitely worth watching. I think there's 6 seasons, maybe 5. I don't know.
I think it's
4,
actually.
I'm starting from season 1. We're working our way through. One to rewatch for you. Get on it. Hello, King Solomon.
Hi, King. Hi, buddy.
Heard from you in ages. How you doing?
Yeah, we're all good. Preparing for lockdown.
Again.
We're all on the mend.
Just before lockdown happened, which is going to be Thursday, I think. I put in my order today for my 4K TV, so I'll have that tomorrow.
Jammy
I'll have that tomorrow. So, by the time we'll cover the story in a minute.
Yeah, we'll cover the story in a bit.
Deliveries on new game consoles, but I'll have my TV at least.
You boys, right? This is a question actually. Which did you pre-order from shops, or have your PS5s you pre-ordered from Amazon, right?
My PS5 is coming from Amazon, but
my
Xbox
is coming from Game. We'll cover it later.
Okay. We'll cover it in a minute. But my Xbox is from in-store, and my PS5 is from online.
So it looks like we're going to have PS5s until December 2nd of December. Oh, that's ironic. Was that...
For the story, Gareth, I've got a small update for you because I've been into store.
Okay, all right. It was one of those things.
Right.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is... thank you. Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
10 years, mate. It's been 10 years. I've been going on 1080p.
Yeah, but...
And I've got 6...
But just point out that his TV that he's currently got is bigger than him. I know that's not particularly difficult, but it's probably bigger than if you put all of his family together, it'd still be bigger. It's fucking huge.
It's 50-inch, mate.
It looks bigger than that. It does.
Bezel,
my dad's got 55.
Fucking huge bezels.
It does.
It is. It's big ass
But
TV.
what I've done is I've bought a 55-inch, which is actually slightly smaller than the current footprint of my current TV, which is a 50-inch. Because the bevel is like that.
I'm thinking of getting a new TV or doing a Gareth and getting a TV up on my wall here. I had a play with, when I was in hospital, one of the things we had in there was one of the new Samsung TVs, and they're quite impressive. Actually, they pretty much do everything and play everything. They fucking even support my phone. I could link to my phone. I was fucking watching Amazon Prime in the hospital straight off my phone. It was quite cool. Anyway, nice. This is over to you now, mate. So now...
It's games. Who doesn't like a game? Right. Keith, do you mind sharing? I don't have.
No. You got the tabs. You got the news stories. I said this bit's yours. See, he hasn't got them ready. He was stalling.
All right, I'll do it. The dipstick of fucking Google Stadia, who should be working on Google Stadia, decided to put out a dumb ass tweet. And considering that we stream and we've got friends that stream, and we've got quite a few friends that stream, streamers should be worried about getting their content being pulled from using music, blah blah blah. And then long and short of it, the dickhead has suggested that you should be paying the games people to stream
a license.
Now, I think that if I took it and viewed it completely in a vacuum, there is a small point to this. Imagine that you sit there and you paid an extra £5 for your game to say that you could stream it, and then you would tell YouTube, they'd put you in a database, and then for the music and for the images and whatnot, you couldn't get copyright struck. that would be worth something.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
that's not what he's suggesting. He's suggesting we want more money. You're making money. We want more money. Yeah, it's like Ford saying you're delivering stuff in our vans. We want to cut that.
Yeah.
I love the way software people think. They think with total fucking greed and contempt for their users. It drives me crazy.
I see you've used Adobe Premiere to edit your video. We need a cut of that. It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Don't get me started on developers. I mean, a few years ago, right? I worked for a company. I won't name names. I worked for a company who had at the time the market-leading product, right? And they were developing the next generation of this product. And when this next generation product was launched, it wasn't at all like the original product. And all of the customers, because I was going out to the customers, were bitching and moaning. It was making our life fucking hell. And when we walked back into and talked to developers, it's like, did you look at the previous product? Did you even look at it? It's like, no. We own it. We got the fucking source code there. And you never looked at it.
No, dear.
I know what you mean by that.
Because the problem is that developers do live in a vacuum from time to time. And being someone who develops stuff himself for his employer, it is a bit of a case of sometimes you sit in a vacuum and then you do that first draft of whatever tool you've built and you pass it to someone, and it's a 50% chance that it works the way they are expecting. Yes. Right.
I don't think. Obviously, he's a special case.
He's a special case. Google went, no, we haven't got anything to do with it. Considering this is the annoying thing, is considering one of the features on Google Stadia was the ability to stream directly to YouTube from the Stadia server rather than from your home server. So you play it remotely, and then from that remote point, it would then stream it to YouTube. It would then carry your voice and bits along with it. And if you were watching, you could press a button, take that person's saved game, and play from that point, which hasn't materialized. So maybe we're working on that. Maybe there's a big argument about streaming it to YouTube because YouTube's way it operates is pretty much the opposite the way that Google Stadia wanted to operate. From
what I understand, this bloke, he used to be, there you go. He used to be creative director at Ubisoft. And Electronic Arts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably why he got these views.
Yes.
Because we know EA equals scum.
Well, the long and the short of it is we've got a great story involving, I think it's EA, which makes me smile. It's making me smile so much. Okay. King Solomon II says that Amazon Spain is cheaper than Amazon UK, and that's annoying. Thanks. I don't want to know that. Don't tell me that. That makes me upset. You make me cry. I want to know. It's probably because you've probably still got some shops around. That's why. As soon as the shops disappear, those prices they're going back up.
I want to talk about the next one. Next one's exciting.
The next one's exciting. Are you talking about? So the first thing is there's another story in there, but because they're advertising that, I thought it was that story. But I'll lead with this one.
No Man's Sky is getting an update. Now it's going to be for the PS5. We know that they've been pushing out updates after update, and when you've got a PS5, if you transfer your save game over, it will update, but the graphics are going to be vastly improved. The flora and fauna on every planet you see is going to be vastly improved and more fleshed out. It's going to visually, we know it's fairly basic at the moment, isn't it?
But it looks better on PC, though. It does already look well.
The frame rate makes it look buttery smooth on PC, but the graphics aren't quite there.
It seems that there's more flora and fauna on the PC version. When you see some of these people playing on YouTube, it's always on the PC, and the flora and fauna just looks better, and everything looks better. So when I saw this video, I thought there were some elements in there that like jumped out, like that screenshot there, where the town or city or whatever it is.
That's someone's base. Yeah, that's annoying. But I was hoping because they brought on someone who what was it? specializes in algorithmically created buildings, and I thought we're going to get settlements. I mean, proper settlements, which made me go, "Oh, excited!" Then I saw the little thing up in the top corner, build vast bases. I'm like, "Oh."
I don't mind building vast base. I mean, the base I've built is literally a square with a place for me to transport to the space station and back. But I haven't really gone too far into the game yet, and I need to really to get a bit more out of it. I mean, this might. I know you've done quite a lot more in this game than me, Gareth, and you might have to. It's probably going to give you a lot more to do.
I'm not even the same dimension as you anymore.
No, you're not.
I've jumped. I've done like I think about 8 galaxy hops.
Yes,
for some
but you
reason,
can.
Yeah, go on.
You can go back and play with them with the others because I'm in a different galaxy as well. So,
but that's not the. But Keith, that's not the thing. It's why.
I've only just unlocked the ability to do missions.
Okay.
Oh fuck!
Jesus Christ! No, you're like at the 1% mark.
I'm
probably, but I still like it. But I've been playing a lot of Vampire because Vampire came on a free game this month for PS Plus, which we'll talk about PS Plus in a bit. But I've really enjoyed that game. Fantastic, actually. Combat's a bit wishy, but I've been playing that rather than No Man's Sky, just to have a little bit of a break from No Man's Sky.
My plan was to be playing Star Wars, and I played it that weekend it came out, and then I kind of just went back to No Man's Sky because I had a lot of fun playing with Babster and Gareth and you guys, and I've just been on it. I nearly completed it now. I'm not far behind Gareth. I finally managed to get all my vehicles from space. So I got that fucking gizmo on the fucking thread. Yeah, and I've got all the vehicles as well. Yeah. Which is some of those vehicles are cool.
Just going back to No Man's Sky because that's the article.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about No Man.
Yeah, see, I haven't got that far in the game. No, what I'm thinking is with No Man's Sky, if we've all got PS5s, for example, me and G, because you don't, do you, Keith? No. Can me and G play on PS5s with you on your PS4? I hope so.
You should be able to.
I am getting a PS5 because that No Man's Sky trailer kind of sealed it. No, I didn't get a pre-order because I couldn't pre-order it in the UK because I just didn't have the funds ready. But as soon as I do, I am getting one. It's one of the first things I'm doing is getting a PS5. Even if it's not here, I'll just order it in the UK and get it sent to me here. So, but I am getting a PS5. Might not be on launch day like you guys, but I am getting one. I'm absolutely. I've been playing games a lot again. No Man's Sky's got me back into playing console games again. I won't play like you guys do, but
are you massively excited for it, Keith?
I am looking. The more I've seen on that Miles Morales game, the more I'm going, "Oh, this looks cool," and because I love the Spider-Man game. So to me, the No Man's Sky and that Spider-Man game is enough of a pull to get it. And I think, having watched the unboxing videos this week, because there's been quite a few now, the fucking detail that Sony's put in. I mean, the controller, those little crosses and squares as the texture on that's epic. I mean, the attention, the level of detail on that. I love that. I love that. And the difference when I think it's going to be a closer competition this time than it was last time, but I'm more interested in the PS5 than I am the Xbox, and I will be honest about that because the controllers still look like Fisher Price toys to me, and the fact that they still fucking insist on you putting AA batteries in or buying rechargeable packs extra just pisses me off. I mean, this is fucking 2020. Why do I have to go out and buy a pair of fucking Duracells to put in my bloody Xbox controller? That pisses me off, and that's Microsoft being cheap.
Okay.
Sorry, it just winds me up.
I was going to say, this one here's for you, Keith, because you're excited.
God damn these electric sex bands.
I love Matt Berry. He's fucking hilarious.
I mean, you guys must be a bit excited. I mean, having seen these unboxings of the PS5, I think that it's a beautiful looking console. I'm sorry, it does. It looks like a work of art. I'm genuinely gonna get this fucking money so I can get a PS5.
Yeah.
I'll be excited once I've actually got it in my hands, because lockdown's coming and it's going to be whether or not we get it. So
that is one thing. I've saw the PS5, and I know everyone who's reviewed both of them, but they can't talk about the games on them, ironically, have said that the PS5 controller is brilliant.
Yeah.
They say it feels premium, and then when they play the Astrobot game, it feels like they're going through sand, feels like the whole haptics and everything they say work brilliantly. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that and trying the Astrobot game.
That was the same with the PS4 controller. When the PS4 controller came out, you had that texture. Always felt better than the first edition of the Xbox controllers, and then the Xbox controllers eventually came out with that texture. But this still feels more premium than even the latest Xbox controllers. And yeah, the one thing that they're saying is the controller is really good. And I thought the controller looked cool when I first saw it. No, I'm sold on the PS5. I will be getting one, and I'll get one with a disc drive because my No Man's Sky is on disc. Okay, I said it.
No, it's fine.
Shut up, Babs. Don't even start. Don't even start with me on that. I know what you're about. You're sitting there typing comments. It's like, I know what I said. I will get a disc drive version of the PS5.
Yeah,
I am, because I think it's well worth getting a disc drive version of it. I've got so many games I could play.
That's the reason. It's not to do with it's not to do with the I still maintain that I will probably buy most of my new releases on digital, but I have got all my PS4 games, and the fucking fact that I can play them on the PS5, you got to get it with a disc drive.
It's weird because it works the same way as it does on the Xbox One with the 360 games, where it's like if you own the 360 game, you put it in, it downloads the game from Tinterweb, and then you use the disc to authorize it.
Yeah,
but I haven't got any Xbox games like for years. So the Xbox S for me, if I do get one, would still make sense. But no, I'm PS5 disc drive. You're banned from a disc drive.
That's why with the Xbox, I've gone with the disc drive version, because I've got a couple of games that I want to play on the X, and I've got them on disc, so I want to pop them in to say I do own it. I don't want to buy it again. I don't want to buy it for the fourth time. Just let me play it, sort of thing. And that's why I bought the drive version. So cool.
Yes.
Shall we talk about the loot boxes?
One, the loot boxes. This is great because I fucking hate loot boxes. I think they just ruin the game. I think you should make the game and sell me additional content. If you want to sell me some skins or some artwork or an additional thing that doesn't really affect the game, so the guy's running around in a pink bloody hat, that's fine. I don't mind that. But when you sit there and you offer me something that I can only get from a freaking slot machine, and you don't even tell me the odds. In Vegas, I can find the odds on the slot machines. I can find the all odds on the table. It's
they'll say
the law.
1 in 5 or 1 in 12 or whatever.
Yeah, so EA is facing only 10 million euro fine after a lengthy battle over the legality of loot boxes in Netherlands, as it's resulted in the country's government declaring that the game mechanic is in fact a form of gambling. And this is where a term called bandwagoning, it feels great because all the other nations of the world are going to bandwagon on this. The US, UK, France, Belgium will probably do it properly now, and it'll end the shit. I do appreciate that the this negative story about loot boxes and FIFA, it features Manchester United. Not a big Manchester United fan. There's nothing wrong with them, but I'm a Liverpool fan, so naturally they're the enemy. So I do appreciate that that's the case. The concept they talk about the concept of loot box is using real world currency. It's like a weird way of like kind of laundering your money by buying like crystals, like you would in Star Wars, and then using those crystals to run the thingy. And it's their argument is, well, you're not using real money. It's like, no, you have to pay real money in order to these crystals. They have a value in real money.
You have to buy the crystals in order to buy then the loot box.
Yeah,
and it's the same in FIFA.
Yeah, the FIFA. I think FIFA with the ultimate packs are terrible,
awful, but people love it for some reason. They love it. I do not understand. I've never played FUT. Just hate it. It's a shit version of the game where you just randomly get stuff by paying either real money or the minuscule amount that you earn through the game. So
there's
pointless.
What do you call it? There's rumors that that when they give it to YouTube influencers, they what do you call it? They adjust the odds so they can get better stuff.
Nah, they probably do, you know.
And that bit kind of fucks me right off.
They probably do because they know that they're going to do a video on unlocking or unpacking, I think they call it, a certain player or players that are good, and then that spurs other people on to do the same. And it's falsifying. It's falsifying.
Yeah. It's about bloody time that people came down on them. We've been talking about this for years and been against this, and their tactics with FIFA and the stories you hear about all the money people have spent and then had it hacked, and EA have done fuck all to help them. No, they're getting their just desserts. You mentioned Liverpool, by the way, and Liverpool is more of a high-profile club these days because it's the only one that Spitting Image have got a puppet of your manager and are taking the piss out of him. But in order for Spitting Image to bother, you have to be higher profile. So
yeah.
It's the club I've got a problem with their magic extra time that they used to get in the 90s. It was like kind of they're not winning. Oh, an extra 5 minutes until they do.
Well, now that it's changed, they're not winning. We'll give them a penalty, even if there's no penalty. I've seen one of their players stand on the leg of a defender, fall over, get a penalty. I was like, hang on, you've just fouled him and you've got the penalty.
Over here, it's back in 10, 11 years ago when I went travelling, the big clubs were Manchester and Chelsea. Those were the big clubs. But these days, Liverpool is, I would argue, is probably just as there. I mean, there's more Liverpool fans here these days than there are Manchester United. I see a lot more Liverpool stickers in the back of cars here. I was behind one today, Liverpool FC, all over the back of his great big truck. So, yeah, it was the one that my wife wanted to go to. So,
yeah.
And I have to say, the tour of Liverpool Stadium is awesome. It really is very good.
They've got enough trophies to keep Smaug busy for a couple of years.
Just an interesting historical tour.
Yeah,
it's good. It's well worth it. Anyway, what's your next?
PS Plus time? And the reason we bring up PS Plus this month is because got your first PS5 game on PS Plus, which is Bugsnax.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It looks as lame as fuck. But then again, people really loved Resogun, which was the first PS4 PlayStation Plus game. And I can see why certain people would like Resogun. We're going to go through a bit of a great gaming drought until about, I think, March next year, given the fact that all these new consoles are coming out and need that adaptation and the marketing and the COVID and all that stuff. But yeah, Bugsnax is coming out, which looks interesting. You have to go around and find snacks for bugs. And then we've got one for... fuck off. And then we've got Middle of Earth, Shadow of War, which I'm sure Nigel's already got.
I'm trying to remember. Is that the second one or the first one?
I think that's the second one. Don't quote me on it.
I've got the first one, and the first one was...
it's the second one because it's got the Nemesis system in it.
The Nemesis system's in the first one as well.
Is it in the first one as well?
Yeah. The Middle Earth Shadow. It's a good system, actually. Yeah, you take over, and then they look. The more you take over the sort of chief of a area, and that area slowly he sort of works his magic and stuff, and then you can go to different areas, take them over, and then you control more minions. I quite like it, and the combat was quite good as well. I didn't play it too long because I think when I got it, God of War came out, and so did Spider-Man. And I'm like, oh, squirrel. and wanted to play them instead. But by all accounts, it's a good game.
Okay,
So that being on the list,
well, this is the great thing now is that the PS Plus games can include the PS4 one, so you'll get something which is a bit more meaty, shall we say, in regards to gameplay and interesting stuff.
Yeah,
which should be cool.
I think so. And if you've got a PS5, you get to play it, and then it just loads quicker.
Yeah. Babster agrees with you.
Yes. Oh, it is a second one. I just googled it. It's the second one. So the first one, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and this is Middle Earth, Shadow of War. So it's the second one.
And then we've got the kind of 2D artsy fartsy Hollow Knight game.
Yeah, I don't know much about that one.
It looks all right. It looks platformy with that weird kind of, I have to that weird thing. It's not quite like
a goat head. I don't know.
This is more cartoony, but it has that kind of weird vibe come off of it. That's the only way I can describe it.
Sort of Ori and the Wisp sort of vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose that's the style, but it looks a bit it looks a bit thingy. But anyway, Bug Snacks. I've no fucking idea what Bug Snacks is. It sounds like their version of Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
remember Viva Pinata?
I never had a 360, but I have heard of it.
You lie. You had a 360, but you never kept your 360.
No, I had a 360, but I didn't have that on it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no. I suppose it's worth a go once you've, once the PS5 comes out. It's worth a download. Have a little go. If it's rubbish, delete it. It's probably more of a kiddie thing than anything. But Shadow of Mordor, I'm itching to get my hands on that. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah,
very worthwhile. Just as a special mention, Games of Gold is also out in November. I've had a look at the games, and they're not worth talking about. They're shite.
Yeah, because all the good games are on Games Pass. That's why
they are,
and I think that's gonna end at one point. And it'll just be Games Pass from that point onwards, which I'm fine with because there's some good games on. I think we went through the selection of games
we did
on there, and you had a good 20 that you wanted to play.
Yeah, there's quite a few I want to play, and
unfortunately, I played most of those 20. So,
well, Grounded. I want to play Grounded with you.
Yes.
Do a duo on that. That'll be good.
Okay, so this is
that I want to play. So,
but this is one that kind of fucks me right off. All right, because. Right, if you've got Call of Duty Bloody Warzone on your fucking PS4 or your Xbox, I'm not sure what it's like on the PC, but definitely the Xbox and the PlayStation, it takes up like 160 gigs of space.
Yeah,
for one fucking map.
And when you update that game, it has to copy the entire.
Oh yes,
entire game. So you need twice that amount of space.
Yeah,
in order to update it.
But on the bright
to update it very well.
But on the bright side, with the new Xbox set up for hard drive and the new PlayStation set up for hard drive, you're not going to need that space. As long as Xbox has done what PlayStation has done, I'm assuming they've copied them because Mark Cerny or Dana Carvey boasted that the problem with doing the rights for the game and having to have the space, you don't have to do anymore because you can just do it straight to the source. Because of the way it reads and writes, which is fantastic. And I'm assuming that Microsoft have copied that. And I'd just like to point out, I've already got it, mate. I had it on PlayStation. I had it on Steam because I got it free from another site. I've also got it on the Epic thing because I just want them all because it's a really good game.
I'll have to remember that. I'll have to get that.
When I get a new computer, I will probably play it on that because it's fucking awesome. That's Ghostbusters. That's Ghostbusters 3, by the way. That is Ghostbusters 3. That game,
the official Ghostbusters 3.
Yes, because it's got all the bloody casting and everything. The great thing about it because it was animated. Bill Murray and Harold Ramis didn't have to be in the same room, so more likely to agree to it. All right, so this one here is going to piss me off, and Nigel has an update. So I'll do my little spiel, and then Nigel can tell me what the update is on it. So as of Thursday, midnight, the UK is going into lockdown because the first one worked so well and didn't destroy and do billions of pounds worth of damage to the country, nor did it cause billions of pounds of debt to rack up too. Yeah, and naturally the countries that didn't lock down are seeing massive spike. Oh no, they're not, because they're dealing with it like they always dealt with viruses. So the problem is that I think as of Thursday, I think it's a week till the Xbox Series X and S get launched. Now, Muggins here had pre-ordered his Xbox S Series from Game in person.
As have I.
And I was planning on picking it up. I think it was on Thursday lunchtime, and then trying to make some excuse for not working for the rest of the day.
I've put the day off.
You put the day off? No,
I've booked 3 days off.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of holiday to use, and I thought, why not?
I think I might book the PlayStation one off because that's being delivered to my house, and I will be in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I booked the PlayStation one as well.
It is worth noting, though, chaps, that the only way to get the Xbox on the Xbox Pass was to order it in store, which they didn't tell you when you tried to fucking order it on that morning, which really fucked me off because I was sitting there for an hour and a half, and then it just bugged out, and there was no message. Anyway, I don't know how they're going to handle this. I
don't know how to handle it too. But
have you done the credit check and signed all that shit?
All my stuff's done. It went through in.
Did you pay Did you pay your deposit?
I didn't pay a deposit, but I made an agreement with whatever the credit card company is, Klarna or something. Is that I would.
In fairness, it might be worth contacting Game on Tuesday. Give them the Monday because they probably, seeing as it was announced over the weekend, they probably haven't had anybody in to react to this. They might post it to your house. You don't know. Because it's not like Game don't have the infrastructure to do that. They have an online website with nationwide delivery. So
I was.
I want to know what's going to happen with that.
I was in Game yesterday, while the kids were doing their Explore Learning, whilst you were kindly streaming online with Mr. Baxter. I popped into Game. I had a chat with a guy behind the counter, and he was saying, until they do the initial announcement, which was going to be later, they can't officially say. But the idea is they're going to be phoning up people who have pre-ordered in store. So make sure that your contact details are correct with the store that you've bought through. They're going to be phoning people up to try and arrange a delivery time / slot for people who have pre-ordered in store, so that you can hopefully get it that same day. I think my store had 30 allocated to that store. So they've got to phone a bunch of people up and arrange 30 delivery slots for that day. I think that's what they're planning. They said that my boss is actually on the phone. He couldn't update me any further because the announcement hadn't been made. Unfortunately, I hadn't been inside. I hadn't been into town today to find out any more, but that's their sort of plan. They're trying to do some sort of delivery thing for people to get their consoles, and they've got to arrange it with Microsoft, because obviously if you're doing the all access thing, things have to be signed off. I've got to take in my code, show them the code and stuff like that. And if you're getting it delivered, it can't be zapped and through the store, can it?
Yeah.
But they might have. You might be able to do it online. I would give them until the Tuesday, because I think they're going to be running around, a bit tomorrow trying to solve it. But it sounds like they might have already anticipated this.
They've been thinking about it. That's what he said. He said. Yeah. He said that my boss is actually on the phone. He did come out and have a chat with me. But that's
okay. All right. So it looks like they're going to deliver, but we don't know how they're going to deliver or how they're going to manage the admin of it. But they're planning on delivering, which is good.
They're planning on it.
Because I've got my all digital console, so I don't have to leave the bloody house to buy anything. Yeah. I've got 20 quid's worth of credit on the Xbox store at the moment with Microsoft. And I'd just like to point out, sometimes you type something because you get a message like this, where someone was like kind of, tell about loving PC. So you then write like, yes, we do love the PC. And then you go, free games, cheap games, online modding, and then there's supposed to be a comma there, kiss, 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 but now it looks like triple X is in sex games.
Modding Triple X games, yeah. It's taken us ages to get rid of that moniker.
I've just realised something.
Hello, Dave.
Hello,
We've got
Dave.
Dave in the comments.
Ah,
He's out and about.
And it just so no, hang on, you could just say it, and just so you know, available on Amazon. Shadow of the Matt Bamber.
Yes, that was a terrible day, and we thought we were really funny. We were really funny.
We were really funny. What do you mean we thought? We were.
We were really funny with that. Okay, so this is the bit where we're going to probably. I don't think we should have. I've got a reviews thing, but I should really just be bitching. It should just be someone, just like a lady with a thing.
I mean, you've added it back on because you're back here. So I took Truth Seekers off because neither of us had watched it, but we've got that back on there. Right. I'm not going to bitch about the Mandolorian so much. So.
Okay. Try and cue him up, and he just won't shut up.
I know.
It's like, okay, so let's start off with what the fuck are we? Why are we watching this shit? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's written by two horny 13-year-old girls.
Can you say the name of the program, please?
It's Star Trek.
Well, it's all.
Sorry, Keith. You interrupted.
It's Star Trek Discovery.
Oh wait, I've got something for that.
Fuck off!
You can see that I had these bump things queued up for weeks, and I hadn't loaded them up, and now you two have just like gone, oh, I got buttons, lots of buttons. Yes.
Before you are absolutely right that the writers of the show are retards, but I will say this: they fucked up in a way that potentially, that second episode actually had a shimmer of light. And I feel so sorry for Doug Jones because he absolutely belongs in Star Trek. He absolutely belongs in Star Trek. And he is brilliant as Saru. And Saru could have been a brilliant character for Trek, even a good captain. But the minute that fucking travesty, Michael King Burnham, turns up, the whole show is shit. I've come to the conclusion. The actor is drinking from the fucking same Kool-Aid. She's a shit actor. She is not good. She popped up in Walking Dead. There was an episode on the other day, and I realized she wasn't very good then either. Bad actor, bad character, badly written, and I don't even. I mean, somehow this first episode of season 2 came up, and within about 2 seconds, it irritated me. This hasn't irritated me. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
It is incredible. It is incredibly dumb. It's incredibly irritating. It is so.
The most about canon and how these fucking engines work and the details. And as Gareth kindly pointed out, there's a big fucking problem with the burn because the only fuckers that use dilithium are the Federation.
And the Klingons, they're the only two groups.
And the Klingons. So what happened to the
Dominion.
Romulans? What happened to the Borg? What happened to all these people that do not use dilithium to power their warp cores?
No. This is the thing that gets me. Dilithium is not a power source. No. It's a catalyst. It's deuterium and anti-deuterium that are the.
It's a bit like the fucking quartz battery. It works in the same way as a quartz fucking battery. I know. I am a Trekkie. I know. I'm just dumbing it down a bit.
I just want to point out, you guys lost me at Star Trek, and I don't. Since then, I haven't understood a word you guys have said.
Nerd speak, Nigel.
Nice. It's nerd speak, and it's dumb. Just take it that it's dumb.
Right. Can I just put a thing out there? I think the actress who plays Tilly, Mary Wiseman, I think she hates this show.
I do.
There's a glint in her eye when she's acting, and she looks like she's like kind of, yay, Michael Burnham's back. Why the fuck do I give a shit about her? All right, this is the thing. They all jumped to the future, to be with Michael Burnham, and then Michael Burnham forgot about them within the space of a year. I know it was supposed to be 10 years, and I know you can hear the ADR where they changed it into a year, and it also fits with her fucking hairstyle too. The other thing too, yeah, is she's shacked up with that bloke, yeah, and it doesn't look like they had sex. Fucking disappointed.
Disappointed.
That's what we need to put in. But it's it's just bollocks.
I think it's right, but by putting this year, it shows up that the people that write this show are assholes, right? After the third episode, they are just nasty, horrible assholes. And the reason I say that is because this might have been a 10-year gap thing, but they changed it to a year. But they thought that was all right to do that, and they thought that Michael Burnham wouldn't look bad for giving up on her crew within a year, and then when she comes back, not giving a shit about it all, and that somehow makes us like her. It makes her look like a complete fucking bitch.
All right, just like to point something out. There's an episode of Farscape called The Locket where Erin gets put into a pocket time dimension, yeah, and time accelerates like for 60 years. She held on for 60 fucking years. That character did, and Burnham gives up after one.
Similar episode in DS9 with Chief O'Brien, where he gets sentenced and does an entire life sentence in a jail, and comes out when he's like a really old man and has a huge problem adapting back to normal life and family life. There's similar stories across the thing. Michael Burnham gave up on her crew after a year, 1 fucking year. What a
bitch!
Yeah, and the writers think that yay, Michael, oh, poor Michael Burnham, oh, poor. That's what they want us to think. These people do not live in the real world. They are. I'm done with Discovery.
If you turn around and said, "Look, you didn't come through. I didn't know when you were coming through. I gave up because I found something much, much worse, and now you're here. You can help me fix this." You would have gone, mission. We got a mission. We got something to do. Yeah. They wouldn't have cared. And then she'd explain the burn, which is her, isn't it? I think the problem is like they politicize everything. And I think it's when they go, the universe took a hard left, yeah, and then the burn, yeah. I'm thinking that's a Bernie Sanders reference because he was hard left.
Oh, it's blatantly an allegory for Trump.
I don't think it's an allegory for Trump. I think it's an allegory for Bernie Sanders. Like hard left, Trump, it'd be hard right, yeah.
But the burn and everything.
And the burn. That's how people refer to Bernie Sanders. The burn.
No, that's true.
So, yeah. I'm sorry. I found that amusing. Anyway, the long and the short of it is fucking horse shit. Yeah. I will say one thing. I can watch an episode of Star Trek Discovery, which I couldn't do with Picard.
No,
I couldn't watch Picard. I had to do it on fast forward. I think Star Trek Discovery is going to get fast forwarded from now on. I'm going to turn it on and go.
The thing is, the book character I quite like. I love Doug Jones. I do. I like him as Saru, and there's something about him.
Can we have a buddy cop book and Doug Jones on his?
Yeah,
ship?
that would be brilliant. Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, even Tilly is bearable this season. And with the quips. I mean, okay, they have to give her because she's a wham, and they have to give her the wham and power. But the fact that even Giorgio comes in and actually is right and then fucking kicks the shit out of everything, it's still better. That second episode was probably the best episode of Discovery until the last 2 seconds. And the reason is the character that is Burnham is what's wrong with it.
It's not just. There are other things too that are wrong.
Oh yeah, it's written by dumb people, but it could be watchable. Don't get me wrong; it'd still be trash TV, but it'd still be more watchable without Burnham. She's an awful actress. It's an awful character. It's just everything about Michael Burnham is awful. And fucking Michael Burnham, you still have not explained why you called her Michael.
Look, it doesn't fucking matter because I think the way of solving this is to make them watch the film Galaxy Quest, and then they'd understand they're fans.
Yeah,
we're having those big technical questions and stuff. All right, anywho, let's can we move on to something a bit nicer? Let's talk about Mandalorian, and then we'll talk about Truth Seekers. Because I watched Mandalorian, and I was like, oh, it's fine. This is like TV used to be.
Is it back out again?
It's back out. Yeah.
Yep, I'll get it to you. I've got to get it to it. I'll do I'll sort you out.
Bastard, get a fucking Disney plus
Yeah,
month.
it's only $4.99.
Take the 2 months to cancel it. I'll do.
It was a long episode.
Sorry.
It was a long episode. It was a long episode, which I wonder if they're all going to be this length because it was a good length. And they got more into it. I thought Timothy, what's his name? Timothy Oliphant or
Oliphant, yes. Like elephant.
Baxter, close your ears for 1 minute because there is it's a minor spoiler. But I genuinely enjoyed this episode. I thought that I knew how it was going to end. I predicted what we were going to see at the end because I went back to I think it was the 5th season of the episode where what's her face is killed, and there is somebody standing over her.
Yeah,
we didn't see that, and I went, hang on. And when I saw the armor that Timothy Oliphant's character was wearing, I thought, well, that's clearly not giving you the spoiler, Baxter. But then I knew at the end, I thought, right, we're going to get a reveal of who that there's going to be somebody watching from a distance, and we're going to get a reveal. Now, the question is it him? Because if it is, how the fuck did he get out the Sarlacc pit?
It was that creature that killed it. Didn't you hear what they said?
I missed that bit.
Did you not hear what they said? It's like
I missed that bit.
It's like there are no empty Sarlacc pits. It goes, no, these things eat them. And that's how he got out.
So it is him, not a clone.
It all up. It's not a clone, it's him.
I love the fact they've got the original actor back. I love that they got the original actor back. Nigel, do you want to know what we're talking about? Because people that have seen The Mandalorian will know what we're talking about.
I don't think Nigel's going to be too bothered. I think he'll be fine.
I genuinely now want to see it, and I enjoyed the episode. I thought it's good. It felt like it's more fucking Star Wars than anything Disney have done, with the exception of Rogue One, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought Timothy Oliphant was great. I thought it was funny. I liked the showdown between them that then gets ruined by this fucking great big thing. And then I love the fact that they teamed up. I liked how they gave more dimension to the Sand People, which I thought was great. And it didn't feel disingenuous. It didn't feel like Disney trying to make a name for themselves. It generally felt like expanding the world of Star Wars in a good way. And it's something that Disney until now have not done. Yeah. And I, the Sand People, they've got a new dimension to them now, and I thought that was great. I thought that was, that was good. I haven't really got a complaint about it.
Okay, no, it was good. It just wasn't like, I don't know. It's just spectacularly average. I think it's the best way of describing. It's average, but spectacularly average.
The only criticism I would have is it doesn't feel like it didn't feel like a season opener. Although then you get that little sort of Easter egg at the beginning, but it didn't feel like a season opener. That would be my only, because usually, if you watch something like Doctor Who, you have this big fucking loud opening episode. Then you get your sort of weekly episodes. Then you might have the odd two-parter, and then you get the big fucking season finale. There was no. It felt like a middle episode rather than a season opener. That would be my only criticism. But I like the length, and I thought Timothy Oliphant or whatever his name is was good. And yeah, generally it was worth it. It was a good watch. It was entertaining. It didn't leave me feeling disappointed in any way. Really.
All right, Babster, safe now. Okay. There's a rumor that the guy who did Rogue One, is it Gareth Edwards, could be doing The Last Starfighter.
Yes, I have heard that.
Cool.
I am a big Last Starfighter fan. My dad bought it on a video, and it was probably one of the first sci-fi things other than Star Wars I remember watching. The flying car, the lizard geezer. Starfighter's a great film. It's a fucking fantastic film. Very, very much of its time. But Nigel and Gav, you must have seen The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, I've seen The Last Starfighter.
Nigel, I think it's on Netflix, but even if it isn't, check it out because I think you'll enjoy it.
Nigel's
really
not too sure what it is.
It's called The Last Starfighter. Trust me, it's good. It's good.
Anywho, let's talk about Truth Seekers. So we talked about Truth Seekers in a previous podcast because we saw the trailer for it. And I watched the entire series yesterday, and it was good. The first two, I think, are the best. They do the setup and they make everything kind of scary and creepy. But the downside is they do start explaining stuff, and I kind of like creepy things best not explained in my eyes. It works out fine in the end. It's quite interesting. Simon Pegg's in it, but Simon Pegg is not really in it. They look like they got him for 2 days filming. One to film him outside, running into the building, and another one to film him in his office at various times of the day. Yeah, that kind of that. If you watch it, you'll agree that's a bit on the odd side. Nick Frost's character, I can't remember his name now, is a internet repair guy. And and he's so good at his job. He's so good at his job. What he does is he does like ghost hunting in between. So he picks out the buildings that are a bit on the spooky side, and then goes and visits them, which is fantastic. There's some other things going on. You've got the guy from the. No, it's not the guy from the well thing. The guy from the Mighty Boosh, the one that's not the annoying one. No, whatever his face is, he's in it. And he's
really?
He's the bad guy, which is quite good. Malcolm McDowell as his dad, as his father-in-law, is brilliant. I fucking love Malcolm McDowell in that. He loves. He could see he was loving playing a crotchety old man. And there's a bit where he's trying to be nice to this girl, yeah, and he's like, kind of, oh yeah, goes, I try to be all sartorial, like, going around the house and that. Because I can't spend all day dressed up like a cunt. The way he just blurts it out, and he's like, really well. That had me in stitches when I heard it. Delivery's fantastic. When I heard that, it's really good. I recommend you watch it. It's a bit on the scary side. Don't know if you want kids around for the first 2 episodes, but
does it have double fuck moments? Does it?
No, it doesn't have double fuck moments, but there's nice kind of under your skin sort of moments. And there's a couple of twists in it I spotted from a mile away, but it was the fact that they stuck to it. Because sometimes a twist, if you can see a twist coming and they pay it off, it's good. And if you watch it, you'll see the twists and bits that come off. There was, I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's definitely worth a watch. That's why
is it Amazon? Yeah,
Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's out now.
Okay, I will go and check it out after this podcast.
After this podcast, yes. Anyway, we've got our thingy, a doohickey. Blah, blah, blah. That. If I've done it right. Okay, so I need to reset this bloody web page so I can get the video up on it. TikTokers. You got it? Do you want to bring it up?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, you bring it up. TikTokers. Irritating motherfuckers. I can't stand TikTokers. I hated Vine. Vine is responsible for the Logan Paul and whatnot appearing on YouTube. Yeah?
I did have it. It's now gone. I will reset it. Hang on.
Too slow.
Okay.
Oh, crikey. Hang on a second. I need to set the audio on. If I press the audio. Oh, actually, no, you don't need the audio. Anyway, you got irritating TikTokers like this brainlet of a person. Corey the Bagel. So he's like fucking around with a coat and whatnot. His dad pops out, puts the thing, and then he falls down a flight of stairs. What a bell end. And that, for all the adults in the room, is why you don't let your children on TikTok, because they start doing stupid things like that. It starts off with that, and it ends with Tide Pods. And the only reason it ends in Tide Pods is they can't talk after that because they've burnt the entire fucking setup of their mouth. Dude, man. Let's watch it again. Let's do that again. Let's rewind.
I think you should put the audio on. I generally do, because the audio makes it better, because he's really irritating and he gets his comeuppance.
Okay, hang on a second. Can you hear the audio?
No.
Can you hear the audio? Oh, sorry. Right, let's go again. So I need to change that to hit that. Go here. It's all right. Last week, the audio inclusion button was actually on the stream function, but they've taken it off. Something must have gone wrong. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Here's the brainlet in question. If I can press the button.
I can handle it.
It's the scream. I could handle it.
How'd you do?
What'd you do?
Dude's
What
bellend.
Oh,
Yes.
How can you not keep your balance when just chucking something up in the air?
I don't know. It just happens, but it's always quite funny to watch people like that get their comeuppance in a way.
well, it's
So yes,
endless.
yes, endless fun, and let's wrap this up. So, yeah, hang on, I've got a comment here before we go. Ha 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 ha. And on that note, I think it's time we say goodbye, guys. If you'd be kind enough.
Bye-bye.
Oh, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
If
Okay.
you shameless plug, we've got an Instagram. Go find us on Monkey Nut Punch and follow us. We've got quite a few followers now. It's great. Twitter, yeah, we've got one of them, but it's pretty shit, really. But if you want to, you can follow us there too. YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you might be watching us on YouTube. And again, just look for us, Monkey Nut Punch. And there you go. Oh, podcasts. You're probably listening to this on a podcast directory somewhere in the ether. So you can find us everywhere. You can't escape.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Well.
I love
Hang on,
that.
just for Baxter. And on that note, stay tuned.
No. Oh no. Why?